Good morning and welcome to the Lyric Professors. I'm Professor A, joined as ever by Professor Dogger behind and below me and Professor J on the other side of the world. How are things therein, Professor J?
I've got loads of notes.
Excellent. I don't have any. For anyone who watched the last episode, I have managed to get my microphone going again, and Word has now eaten my notes for this episode. So this one's on Professor J. I will just make some caustic comments every now and then. Over to you, Professor J.
Okay, let's go for it. So we are doing the 3 ages of Paramore, right? And we've already done the first age of Paramore, which was kind of their baby age. And now we're going to their middle ages. And then the third and final episode will be the most.
One should mention that middle age for Paramore is mid-20s.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So do you want to talk about, we said we'd talk about the drummers. Would you like to spend a moment talking about the drummers?
I don't know how many they've had. I know the main guy, Zach, was it? He left and came back at some point, just like pretty much every member of the band except Hayley Williams has done.
Including Hayley Williams.
Oh, has she? She's done it as well.
Yeah, she's left the band as well.
Not quite sure how there's a band then, but yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they. I don't like the production of the drums. I have to agree with you.
It's not that I don't like it. It's different, right? It's very so. There's a digging into this. They've had 7 drummers.
Wow.
I mean, they've been around for a while. When did we say they started? It was like 2004. Yeah.
2004. 20 years.
Yeah. So originally it was Hayley Williams, Zach Farrow, and his brother Josh Farrow. So when they started, Zach Farrow was 12 years old. And then they had their first album produced. So he had a gold certified album when he was 13. Yeah. And he's really, his drumming, it's got this strange snare sound that I hear that sounds a bit strange to me. But he has a really powerful snare. He really smashes that snare. And a couple of times he got pretty badly injured because he hit so hard that he's just tearing his muscles apart. And he kind of stayed in the band, and then finally a combination of these sort of physical injuries and the fact that he pretty much missed out on his entire childhood. He joined the band at 12, 13, had a gold album, and then just touring and banding. He finished his studies from the tour bus.
Yeah, I suppose he legally had to finish them, didn't he?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So he said that he felt that he missed out on his childhood. He missed out a lot. So he left. And then we get the rest of the drummers.
Interchangeable Kens on drums.
Exactly. Well, the first Ken was Miles McPherson, who really was a touring drummer, but an excellent drummer until the curse of Paramore hit. So he was in a golf cart that got out of control. He had a flip, and basically his face was dragged along the concrete for a good distance, ripping his skin off. And then
you won't be happy with that.
Well, it's not over yet. In the golf cart flip, he also broke bones, and the batteries popped. So he grated his face off, broke some bones, and got battery acid burns as well.
Boy.
So he did the whole lot.
Did they follow this up by sacking him?
Yeah, presumably. Well, it's contractors, right? If you can't do your job, you're not being paid, I guess. So they had a stand-in drummer, was one Taylor York.
Yes.
Taylor York is?
Well, I know he got a Grammy with Hayley Williams for writing one of their songs.
Oh, he's the bass player.
Right.
He is the bass player.
Yes.
So he played drums on the single Monster. Then they had people come and go. So they had Aaron Gillespie, who was in Under Oath, who's a very much a heavy metal drummer. So that really heavy hitting style. Then we mentioned in 2015, Hayley Williams left the band, which I think that means there is no band,
think
right?
pretty much,
I don't know what they did if Hayley Williams left the band. So she left in 2015 with, she took some time to address some mental issues. So good on her. She's been very public about that. So well done, Hayley. Then she came back. Then they had Josh Freese. Do you know who Josh Freese plays with?
Queens of the Stone Age, isn't it?
9 Inch Nails.
I'm sure he has played with Queens of Stone Age.
I didn't have Quats on the list. Then another 9 Inch Nails alum, Ilan Rubin, recorded an album. Then they had Jason Pierce, who was a touring drummer for Justin Bieber.
Right, so yes, bit of a contrast.
Covering the gamut, right? Then Hayden Scott, and then finally in 2016, Zach Farrow came back, and as far as I'm aware, they've been back ever since. And as we're going to talk about the evolution of Paramore today, also his drumming style has evolved as well. He's less hard hitting now, but he really can get in the pocket, and there's really different, like we're going to talk about, they're really different musically in today's episode as compared to the previous episode. So it's much more in the pocket. I think only drummers really know what that means, right?
Yeah. Drumming, as you say, being too physical or whatever is the thing. I remember reading that Albert Bouchard, or Albert, the original drummer from Blue Oyster Cult, as he's still playing in his mid to late 70s, he's sampled all the old sounds of himself drumming, and has them played electronically when he pitter-pats on the drums these days to make them sound much more powerful, like he used to be.
He's doing finger drumming now,
something like that. Yeah, because he hasn't got the strength to give it a full whack.
Yeah, it's physical drumming, very physical. And then while we're doing, so that's it. Zach's back. But did you know that they were also sued, Paramore? The original bass player, Jeremy Davis, sued Paramore for $1 million for not having songwriting credits and royalties on the self-titled album that we're going to go into shortly.
Well, that's not very nice, is it?
I don't know what the result was. Actually.
No, $1 million isn't probably that much to them, to be honest.
I guess they're doing all right, right?
Album and all that. You probably coining it in, I'd have thought.
Okay, so from my notes, the next song we're doing is "Still Into You," which is a 2013 song from their self-titled 4th studio album,
which is called Paramore.
This is
the quality of comments I can make with that note.
And this is the one that was talked about in the sewage, not the sewage, but the sewage.
Mitigation.
I'm gonna dive. That's a much better word. I'm gonna dive into some lyrics. Can't count the years on one hand that we've been together. I need the other one to hold you, make you feel better.
Well, apparently the guy she was singing about, who I believe is called Chad Gilbert, and is a guitarist for Newfound Glory, something like that. There's 2 bands he's in, I think.
Yeah,
that's one. Apparently they'd been together at this time for 5 years, so she
can count on one hand then.
Well, yeah, something like that. But I think she didn't want to say, I can't count on 4 fingers, so she said more than I can count on. But, yes. So yes, that's it. It's a love song to her then partner, who was quite a lot older than her.
Okay. It's not a walk in the park to love each other. But when our fingers interlock, can't deny you're worth it. Because after all this time, I'm still into you.
My fingers are interlocked and I'm still into me.
Okay, more words is, I should be over all the butterflies, but I'm into you, I'm into you. And baby, even on our worst nights, I'm into you, I'm into you. Let 'em wonder how we got this far, 'cause I don't really need to wonder at all. Yeah, after all this time, I'm still into you.
Professor
So it
Dogger
is.
murmured there. I don't know what she had to say. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's working up to a proclamation here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's obviously a progression from the teenage angsty first stage of Paramore, in that she's saying that she's giving some balance, saying even at our darkest times, she's still into him.
Yeah.
She's, it's sort of a more grown up, I guess, perception of a relationship, that the good times and bad times.
Yeah.
And I had a lovely
Okay.
quote about every verse in this, because they absolutely caned the social media at this time. There's
All right.
interview after interview, and they also had their own live blog where they basically
Ooh,
dissected each of their songs, which I had
wow.
noted down. It was really interesting.
Well, put the link below, Professor.
Well, the blog isn't there anymore, I don't think, but I had comments from it from various lyric sites.
Okay, more words. Recount the night that I first met your mother, and on the drive back to my house, I told you that. I told you that I loved ya.
There's a point gone.
That's definitely a point gone there. Rhyming mother with ya. Yeah. Haley.
Ma and Ya would be.
You felt the weight of the world fall off your shoulder, and to your favorite song, we sang along to the start of Forever.
I know what the favorite song is.
What is it? Because that's a jumble of words. That is
His favorite song, and this is apparently a true story. This verse. His favourite song was a Little Birdhouse in Your Soul by They Might Be Giants. That's what they were singing along to.
Why are they saying we sang along to the start of Forever?
No, they sang along to his favourite song, and that was the start of their relationship being forever.
Ah, okay.
No, it was Birdhouse in Your Soul, and
It's a cracking song. I love
it is
that
a
song.
fantastic
That's
song.
amazing.
But
I love that
she's
album.
really into birdhouses because of that, and she designed one for some charity to be auctioned off.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that from my notes.
Wow, good noting.
Mm.
Yeah, I was I was trying to think of songs that began with Forever. I can only think of Torturous Threnody from After Forever. That was the one that was stuck in my head. You know that song?
I do. In fact, we mentioned it in our previous incarnation when we had a feature called "Go and Find a Weird Word in a Song."
Oh, that was a great feature.
It was, yes, it
Should we
was.
bring that
Except
back?
it was very, very obvious that we were looking for one song from the other person, and the other person kept finding a different song, which was a bit of an issue. But yes, threnody was a good word for that.
Yes. I don't remember what it means. What does Threnody mean?
It's a sort of song of mourning.
Oh, yeah. Another word, isn't it?
Elegy.
No, there's Muerto Modrio.
Yeah, that sounds like it's Italian. I don't know Italian.
Latin. There's a Latin. Memento Mori.
Yes. I
Memento
do
Mori.
Latin. I have an A level in Latin.
Indeed, you should know this. All right, so there we go. And after all this time, I'm still into you. Butterflies. Okay. Some things just make sense. And one of those is you and I. Some things just make sense. And even all this time, I'm into you. Baby, not a day goes by that I'm not into you. Butterflies, blah, blah, blah. I'm still into you. I'm still into you. Done.
Hold on, it's coming. The proclamation is coming.
That's a D.
Okay. How about you comment on the next song instead? Yes, I have to say I wasn't that keen on this musically. It's a kind of hideous funk thing for the verses, which I didn't particularly like. The rest of it's all right. She did say that this song was the closest to the band she had in school before Paramore, when she was presumably a fetus. I can't remember what they were called, but they played funk rock anyway. She said this was the closest to going back to that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is the one when this feels bubble gum poppy to me. It's catchy. What I don't like about it is I don't feel it changes enough. It feels very repetitive, and I find it a little bit annoying. This song, I will say that it's very samey. There's no kind of, one song that we've not done on our list is The Only Exception, which is the other song that I really thought about doing. That one has got a really good bit where she's singing really in a different rhythm to something else. This one is just
Yes, it is.
and into you. It's sweet and sugary. I like the video because they're fooling around on BMXs in houses, so I'm obviously into that.
Yeah, it was all right. I thought she did say that they were very unsure about releasing it as a single because it's not angsty enough. And that's what they're known for.
Yeah.
But, glad they did. And she also said that when she played it to her bloke, he broke down in tears because it was so bad. Because it appreciated the sentiment so much.
Yeah. So it sold 1 million copies.
I could have given you all the chart positions and things if I had my notes.
Yeah. Well, it hit number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Right.
And it was, amazingly, their first top 10 hit on the mainstream top 40 charts.
In America, they'd had top 40 hits here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's about it. I mean, do we need to dig into the relationship? Or do we leave it?
I don't really know. I don't think they're together anymore, are they?
They're not. So this was when did we say this was? This is 2013, right?
I think so, yeah.
So I think in 2014, let me just check my numbers. Yeah, they became engaged in 2014, married in 2016, and separated in 2017.
Yeah, that's the rock star way.
Unfortunately, it was Chad Gilbert's infidelity. It was the
shocking.
Yeah. Yes, and then do you know who she's dating now?
I have no idea.
She's dating. She is dating Taylor York.
Oh, right.
The bandmate, keeping it in the band.
Excellent.
Keeping it home.
Perhaps well, that never works, does it? I mean, think about your Fleetwood Macs and all that.
Oh wow, yeah.
Maybe we business should do with pleasure.
Tusk by Fleetwood Mac.
Tusk is a great song.
Heck of an album. Would you like the word count?
Hold on a second.
It is time for Professor J's word count.
You want to guess? Do you remember what it was last time? Last episode?
Yeah, it was about 100. About 300 and about 100.
Yeah. You want to guess what this one is?
About the same.
Exactly the same. It's 102 and 330. And you'll see that it's consistently like that.
Yeah, I've just realised I'm going blind again because I keep forgetting to put my glasses on. There we are. That's better.
There we go. All right, should we pals score it?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because I haven't got the lyrics in front of me, but yes.
Yes, okay.
Definitely one off, as we said, for Mother and
Yeah. There's one off for Mother and Ya. I should be I'm into you. Baby, Worst Nights. There's an M and a cos.
But is there anything good? Because we're going to have a negative score if we just carry on like this.
I can't count the years on one hand we've been together. I need the other one to hold you.
Right.
Make you feel it doesn't make any sense. It's not in a walk in the park to love each other. Can't deny it. Baby, I've never let him win. Dooby dooby doo. Recount the night I first met. That's rubbish. And then there's this thing. You felt the weight of the world fall off your shoulder, and to your favourite song, we sang along to the start of Forever.
Yeah, why did he only have the weight of the world on one shoulder?
Yeah.
Strange that.
Gonna hurt his back if he does that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty low for me. This has got to be lower than The Weekend.
Oof, you think? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Do you want a negative? So I'm going to go along with you entirely for this because I don't have the lyrics.
I'm just giving it a 0.
0. Wow.
Yeah. Not that bad. I'm calling it 0.
It's worse than the weekend. That weekend, so it's pretty bad.
It's worse than that weekend.
Mm.
All right, we done?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're done. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Not very far. Same album, 2013. We have chosen "Ain't It Fun," which was the 4th and final single from their eponymous album. Where should we start? I mean, can we start with the video on this one?
I liked the video.
Right.
Still, it was funny.
What were they doing in the video?
Breaking world records, allegedly. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Well, they were a bit random, right? So the first, I mean, the first thing is they start this smashing up a load of stuff. They're getting
Smashing
guitars.
alarm clocks with guitars was the record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Break, that popular record. How many alarm clocks can you smash with guitars in a minute? I mean, it's a ridiculous record. It's a terrible waste to the musical world.
I don't like it when people smash guitars, I have to say.
Yeah. Unless they're doing it for cool reasons.
I don't even like if they do it for cool reasons.
Oh. Yeah, so it's very... The videos are very colourful.
Yeah, that's true.
Very colourful. Yeah, all right.
And she's a bit manic in the videos as well, I find.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a band persona, isn't it? IP, high kicking. Right, Ain't It Fun? I'm going to do some lyrics. I don't mind letting you down easy, but just give it time. If it don't hurt now, then just wait a while. You're not the big fish in the pond no more. You are what they're feeding on.
Well,
So,
she said in all the quotes that this was about her moving to LA to make this record.
oh yeah, from the Tennessees.
I presume so, yes.
Oh.
And how, while she enjoyed it, it was very unsettling not to have her friends and family. And she actually said not to have my favourite restaurants and my friends and family. So that shows her scales of.
So then, is she talking about herself in the third person? You're not the big fish in the pond no more. You are what they're feeding on. Yeah. Okay. All right. More words. So, what are you going to do when the world don't orbit around you? Repeat. Ain't it fun living in the real world? Ain't it good being all alone?
Same thing.
Very happy, is it?
No. Well, she was suffering with depression at this time.
Indeed, she was. Where you're from, you might be the only. Where you're from, you might be the one who's running things. Where you can ring anybody's bell and get what you want. See, it's easy to ignore trouble when you're living in a bubble. Nice rhyme.
Trouble bubble.
So, what are you going to do when the world don't orbit around you? What are you going to do when nobody wants to fool with you?
The ringing a bell thing could either be getting a reaction out of someone, or it could be sort of like ringing a bell to summon a butler or that kind of thing. So
yeah,
sort of a bit of a dual meaning, which is quite advanced for Paramore, I feel. I think she's game, man.
Yep. Ain't it good to be on your own? Ain't it fun? You can count on no one. Ain't it fun living in the real world? Don't go crying to your mama, because you're on your own in the real world. Repeat. Ain't it fun? Ain't it fun, baby? Now you're one of us. Ain't it fun? Ain't it good? Then you've got all that. Blah blah blah. And ain't it fun living in the real world? Ain't it good? Ain't it good being all alone? So she kind of mixes it up there. She's gone from, it's tough being on your own, and then she says, oh, it's actually good.
I don't think she does, because it's the same. Ain't it good is the same as ain't it fun. She's saying it's not.
Okay.
But it could be a duality, of course.
Yeah. Yep. And then there's a whole load of more of the same. Don't go crying to your mama. Run to your mama. Because you're on your own in the real world. Don't go crying. Don't go crying to your mama. Because you're on your own in the real world.
I liked that bit.
Oh, yeah?
In the song, not lyrically particularly, but I liked the bit with the gospel choir and then her doing the responses to it. I thought that was good. Musically, I enjoyed it.
This is the one with the choir, right? This is
Yes.
the bit with the choir.
When they're in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And musically, again, it's very poppy, and then it's suddenly got a
Longest scream while riding wasn't it?
Yeah, 9
Longest scream while riding in a convertible.
seconds.
8.48 seconds.
So I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
that's a record.
I could do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole point is that you pick records that don't exist, isn't it? And then you're the record holder.
Did they actually get the records, or was it just a joke?
I don't know. But it's entirely possible, because as long as you
Yeah.
get someone from Guinness Records to turn up, then it's official, even if it's something a contest you just made up.
Oh. I like the first quote on the official YouTube thing for this. I'm going to read it out to you. I love how sarcastic this song is. Sorry, I love how sarcastic this song is. Like, it's so up-tempo and sounds like a nice, happy song about growing up and wanting to be an adult, until you actually grow up and realize that this song is actually talking about how much reality hits hard. And the world is such a hard place to handle, and you wish you were a kid again.
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah, it's all right. Quite catchy. I think this was probably my favourite of the 4 we're doing today.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Do you know how many words?
Oh, was it 300 and 100?
Yeah. It was 98 and 465 this time, because there was a lot of repetition.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
Hal's score is on you again. I'll just offer.
Hang on, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. This song became Paramore's highest peaking single on the US Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 10. Got double platinum. Has sold over 2 million.
That's quite a lot of records.
Internationally, the song garnered moderate commercial outcomes, reaching the top 40 of Australian, Canadian, and Venezuelan charts. You know how it did in the Grammys?
Is this the one that won the Grammy for songwriting? Wow.
Yes, it did. It won the Grammy Award for Best Rock Song at the 57th Grammy Awards, making Hayley Williams, the first woman to score that since Alanis Morissette in 1999. Good honor, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Alanis Morissette, at least a couple of years ago, I don't know if it's still true, is now the agony aunt columnist for the Guardian newspaper in this country.
Oh, really?
She's a Canadian, and she's not an agony aunt. It's very, very strange.
It's not her anymore. It's John Ronson. What's his name? It's his wife.
Oh, John Ronson's wife. Okay, I have no idea who that is.
No. Ronson.
What do you mean? Don't mean John Nicholson's wife?
Somebody's wife.
She's called something Beaumont. Well, she's quite funny.
Sorry, say again. Cecilia Beaumont.
No, Sally Beaumont. I can't remember.
Oh.
I can't remember. She's John Nicholson's wife anyway. She's really quite funny.
That's not the person I was thinking of.
I don't know.
Yeah. In 2016, Alanis Morissette was a Guardian Weekends new advice columnist. Yes.
As well as appearing in a film as God.
Oh, yeah. What film was that? She didn't say anything, right? She just smiled.
Yeah. What is it? It was one of the Kevin Smith films, wasn't it? Dogma. Or Dogmatic. One of the other Dogma, I think.
Oh, what do you think of that, Dogger?
She's-
Do you want to give it a pals score?
Well, as I say, it's difficult for me because you mentioned a rhyme that you thought was good.
Okay, I don't mind. Give it time, just a while. You're not the big fish in the pond no more. I don't like the no more. You are what they're feeding on. All right, half a point. What are you going to do? The world don't orbit around you, blah, blah, blah. See, it's easy to ignore trouble when you're living in a bubble. Okay.
That's right. I like Trouble Bubble.
Point.
It's very Shakespearean.
Ain't it fun? Ain't it fun living in the real world? Ain't it good? Ain't it good? 1.5, no more.
Fine.
Max. What say you?
That's fine. 1.5. I mean, it won a Grammy for its writing, so
No, it won the Grammy for the best rock song.
it's not even
Not
a rock
rock.
song.
It's not rock, and the lyrics are crap. So that's the secret. If you want to win a Grammy for a rock song, don't write a rock song, write a sugar pop song, and say "Mama."
It's all about who proposes you for the Grammys and who supports you, isn't it? I'm sure it's all down to the record label rather than anything else.
Okay. All right, should we go for the next one?
Yeah, let's do that very thing.
Okay, so the next one we have chosen is Hard Times.
Yes.
Hard Times. So again, no, we've jumped forward a little bit now. So we are now in 2017.
Of course, yes. So this is after Hayley has returned to the band.
Indeed. So this is from their 5th studio album, After Laughter. And it was the lead single from this album.
Interesting.
Written by lead vocalist Hayley Williams and guitarist Taylor York, and was recorded in the band's hometown, Nashville, Tennessee. So they've come back from LA.
Yeah.
They did a sojourn in LA.
Well, presumably, if that's what caused her to have mental health problems and leave the band, then she didn't want to repeat the experience in LA.
And guess who's back drumming?
Who is it?
Zachy boy.
Excellent.
What do you think about this song?
I think it's a blatant Talking Heads ripoff.
Yeah. So for me, it sounds really 80s, and the video is kind of synth wave, new wave, not really new wave whatsoever.
It's so much of a Talking Heads ripoff that David Byrne from Talking Heads covered it.
Okay.
He said that it was obviously inspired by Talking Heads, so I thought I'd cover it.
Okay. I mean, that intro riff, it sounded almost like a Japanese. It sounded like a Japanese scale. Do you remember the sort of intro riff?
Yeah, I do. But I wouldn't know a Japanese scale if it.
Wow, it sounds Oriental. Let's say that. Sort of. All right, words. All that I want is to wake up fine. Tell me that I'm all right, that I ain't gonna die.
She likes an ain't, doesn't she?
She certainly does. All that I want is a hole in the ground. You can tell me when it's all right for me to come out. Sounds like the beginning of a limerick.
Yes. About a groundhog.
Yes. Okay, so she wants to wake up fine. I mean, this is a. She is going through hard times, right?
Yeah.
It's so different to the video. Well, the video starts with a car crash, right? A literal.
Does it? Okay, I don't remember that, but yeah, okay. Can't hear you anymore.
Can't hear me?
No, I can now, but for some reason your voice disappeared for the last sentence.
Well, I'm just saying that. So the video starts off, she's in a car crash, and she gets up and she's in this sort of different world where it's all color and neon and all that sort of thing.
I must have slept through that bit. And I do remember that when a drum stick hits a drum, there's a spark and that kind of.
Yeah, all that sort of thing. Very, very 80s.
Yeah.
And this is Zach, and it really shows his ability to drum in these different styles because it's really very different to how he drummed before. Okay, hard times gonna make you wonder why you even try. Hard times gonna take you down and laugh when you cry. These lives, and I still don't know how I even survive. Hard times, and I got to get to rock bottom. Ooh! Exclamation mark.
Yeah, on genius.com, the lyric discussion site, someone wrote several paragraphs on just that or ooh, saying that it's the sound your body makes when it lands on a rock.
Ooh,
Okay.
your body makes, or your voice makes, or your voice box makes.
Oh, who knows? It's just bizarre.
Okay. All right, more words. Walking around with my little rain cloud hanging over my head. Ain't it coming down? Where do I go? Give some sort of sign. You hit me with lightning. Maybe I'll come alive. Hard times. And make me
Well,
wonder
obviously,
why. Hard
that's
times.
a reference to Frankenstein's monster hit by a bolt of lightning coming alive.
Coming alive, yeah.
So this is our first, I believe, literary reference in Paramore.
Very true. And this trouble bubble refers to something.
Well, it is.
That's
As I said,
that's
it's
true.
Shakespearean.
Yeah.
And of course, Hard Times is a Dickens novel.
Indeed it is.
So this is not exactly Dickensian lyrics.
No. Well, no. Yep. Okay. I still don't know how I even survive hard times. I got to hit rock bottom. Ooh, yes. Tell my friends I'm coming down. We'll kick it when I hit the ground. Repeat. When I hit the ground, when I hit the ground, hard times. I think that's it. I don't think there are any other unique lyrics through the rest of the song.
Why did you pick this one?
I looked at a list of best Paramore songs, listened to them, and I thought this one was visually attractive, and it had done quite well.
Same reason I picked that weekend, basically.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
come to having to make a score of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's different to the first generation.
Oh, definitely. When she used to be angsty, now she's depressed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Phase 1 of life, angsty. Phase 2, lovey, depressed. This is after breaking up, right? Yeah.
But you said they broke
Yeah.
in 2017. This is
Sorry?
2017. You said they broke.
Yeah.
I thought this was 2016.
This was released on April 19th, 2017.
So it'd have been written in 2016.
Yes, essentially.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's very 80s new wave, I'll say that. And the video marries that.
Yeah, it's like they're just
Coming
trying
again.
something different.
Yeah. I mean, it's still big chorus, sugary vocals. People talk about it as rocky. I don't see it as rock.
No, not this. These two albums.
Yeah.
The first one was. I mean, Crush, Crush, Crush
Yeah.
had some nice guitars on it.
Yeah.
Nasty Misery Business.
Do you want a word count for this one?
300 and 100.
Not far off. This is actually the shortest one.
Yeah.
This is 83 and 347.
Does that include the ooh?
We'll have to ask unique word count, but presumably.
Yes.
Well, I've got no I've only got an oo.
Well, I had it as an That's why.
I've only got it as an oo.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Whichever one gets you a Grammy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there we go. I don't really have any more to say about this. 80s.
Yeah.
80s.
No, I don't have anything to say about it. It definitely wasn't one of my favourites. Although I'm not really a massive Talking Heads fan. So. I do like Wild Life and Psycho Killer. There's a couple of others which were good.
Yeah, I was a bit too
nowhere.
late for. That. Okay, well, let's go to our final one
No,
today.
PAL score.
Oh, pound score, yes. Let me look at some of those lyrics. Wake up fives, whole, odd
I think
times, dry.
she should get a point for her first 2 literary references, really.
Hard times, hard times. I got to get to rock bottoms. Ooh. You hit me with lightning. I mean, very low. Maybe you just don't need to write good lyrics. Good. What is good lyrics?
Well,
Is that
that's
what
the
we're
point,
supposed to be
isn't it?
doing?
Yeah, but is it good lyrics in our estimation or in the estimation of the people who
Definitely.
vote for Grammys or grannies, one or the other?
let's vote for some grannies. What do we know, huh?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, they're probably still going to be voting for Taylor Swift when she is a granny. So.
That is true. When are you working? Come on. Yeah. So, I mean, there's nothing interesting here. There's nothing imaginative. It's, autobiographical.
Half a PAL score?
Yeah. Yeah, half.
So yeah, they've had 2
Oh,
songs
we
worth.
might have to go back and revisit that weekend.
Right.
That,
Making minus 20 or something.
yeah, exactly.
Well, we're going to have to go back at the end of the season and do the first couple of bands who didn't get a PAL score.
Indeed, we'll do that.
And the first half of Poppy as well. So.
We can go through my spreadsheet.
That would be a riveting viewing from everyone.
Okay, so the final one we've chosen is Rose Colored Boy.
This one was long. Oh, it's a long song.
Yeah, same album, After Laughter. Do you know why I chose this one?
No, I thought it was terrible.
I just like the video. The video was really, really different to everything that I'd seen before.
I watched the first minute or so of the video, then left the room I was still listening to the song, but didn't see the rest of the video. Yeah, it's the news desk kind of thing,
yeah, she's kind of working at a news desk, and then she's sort of well, okay. It's a fictional 80s talk show called Wake Up Roseville.
Yes. So
she's the main anchor or host, and the other band members are hosting it. And they're under pressure from the executives who scold the band for not being upbeat and positive. And there's this good bit where it all stops and she's clearly raging in her head, getting annoyed. And then at one point, Williams, frustrated, yells, "F it, we'll do it live," which is parodying an outtake from political commentator Bill O'Reilly on Inside Edition. So she picks up her mug and she smashes it against some dials, and then they sort of smash a few things up, and then the next day they're back. It kind of finishes with them back to normal doing the show the next day.
Right. So they do like to smash things up, I have to say.
They do. They're smashers, right? All right. Words. Low key, no pressure. Just hang with me and my weather.
This, of course, is while a band member's doing a weather report.
Yeah.
In the video. That's as far as I saw.
Rose-colored boy, I hear you making all that noise about the world you want to see. And oh, I'm so annoyed because I just killed off what was left of the optimist in me.
Yeah, I think this refers back to one of their older songs, doesn't it? Which was called something like "For a Pessimist, I'm Quite Optimistic" or something. So I guess it's a reference to that.
Yeah. But hearts are breaking and wars are raging on, and I've taken my glasses off. You got me nervous. I'm right at the end of my rope, a half-empty girl. Don't make me laugh, I'll choke.
Yeah, she doesn't like people being optimistic around her. I'm quite the same. I see no reason for optimism in this current world climate. So.
Just let me cry a little bit longer. I ain't gonna smile if I don't want to. Hey man, we all can't be like you. I wish we were all rose-colored too. My rose-colored boy. What does this rose-colored
Rose-coloured glasses, which she stated she'd taken off earlier in the song.
Yeah. Where does that come from? That
I don't know, but it obviously means to see things in an optimistic frame of mind. Why seeing everything tinged pink would make you feel happier or whatever, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Day glow nightmare to me.
I mean, it's an old thing, right? So there's I mean, in the discussion of it, there's a quote from Geoffrey Chaucer. You must have studied Chaucer.
They didn't have glasses.
Poverty a spectacle is. Oh, I'm not going to be able to read it. It's in oldie English. Poverty is an eyeglass, as it seems to me, through which one may see his true friends.
Right. It's not really rose-coloured, though.
No, it's not. But it's a variant of
yes,
rose
I
colour,
did
denoting a happy or positive attitude that fails to notice negative things, leading to a view of life that is not realistic. Voila.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. Boo. I want you to stop insisting that I'm not a lost cause, because I've been through a lot. Really, all I've got is just to stay peed off. It's all right by you. Yep. My hearts are breaking and wars are raging on, and I've taken my glasses off. You got me nervous. You're turning into a joke. Half-empty girl. Don't make me laugh, Al.
Joke.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's basically saying she is a lost cause.
Yeah.
Which is quite dark, really.
Leave me here a little bit longer. I think I want to stay in the car. I don't want anybody seeing me cry now. You say we got to look on the bright side. Well, maybe if you want to go blind. You say my eyes are getting too dark now, but boy, you ain't ever seen my mind.
I guess that the want to stay in the car now refers back to the thing you mentioned about it starting with a car crash.
But that was the other one, right?
Oh, it was, wasn't it? Yes.
That was Hard Times.
Right. Don't know.
That's, if you're going to a big thing and you don't want to face it, you want to stay in the car while everything's safe. Yeah. And that's it. Try a bit longer. I wish we were all rose-coloured too, my rose-coloured boy.
It's quite dark, this one.
It is dark, isn't it?
Yeah.
But something that comes. I mean, the video is dark, of course. When she's smashing stuff up. Yeah. I really like the video.
Yeah,
I think it's great and really different from everything else they've done, which has been very, very poppy and cheesy pop. This is, I said, this is the middle age of Paramore so far.
Yeah, I guess so. Of course, they could go on for another 30 odd years, and this could be the beginning of Paramore.
Indeed. They could go on for another 30 years old and 30 years and still be quite young.
Still be middle-aged.
Yeah. Would you like a word count?
I'd love one. Do you want to sting?
Yeah, sting me, baby.
It is time for Professor J's word count.
Would you like to guess?
300 and 100.
Now, this one's clearly more words.
It's clearly a longer song, yes.
Yeah. Right. It's 126 unique words with a total of 390.
It's an epic.
It's an epic one. So let's take a moment to look at the number of words that we've heard so far from Paramore. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs, and they are 100, 109, 100, 102, 98, 83, and 126. So an average of 102.6 with a standard deviation of 11, and a standard deviation of 12. I think is ruined by Hard Times and Rose Colored Boy, but they're tight. They're tight on the 100, eh?
Yes. Obviously, they've got a formula.
Got a formula that seems to work, right?
Yeah, certainly sounds.
Right. I'm going to PAL score it.
Excellent.
It's going to score much higher than all their others.
Yes, I'd say so.
I like the low key, no pressure, just hang with me and my weather. Low pressure, I like that.
That's good.
That gets a point. Because I just killed off what was left of the optimist in me. I like that. She's taken off her rose-colored glasses, rose-colored boy. I like that. Don't make me laugh. I'll choke. I like that.
It's not a point. It's never a point.
What?
You don't get a point for that.
Did you just say harump, harump, harump?
Pretty much. You can't give. You're working up to giving this about 5, and it's nowhere near that good. Sorry.
Well, you look through the lyrics and you try to deny me. I'm giving it a half for pressure weather.
That's fine.
Killing off the optimist in me. I'm going to take that up to 1.5. What was the other bit I liked? There was something else I liked. I'm going to go up to 2.
So you're saying it's better than any of the poppy ones we did?
I don't know. I'll have to look back at my sheet.
The highest was 1.5.
Let me see. Hearts Are Breaking, Wars Are Raging On. I want to give this like 2.5.
Yeah.
Let me compare that to my tracker of Poppy. Don't have it in my tracker. I'll need to go back.
I don't think it's better. It's not better lyrics than Church Outfit. It's not better lyrics than Stagger. And I don't think she got above 1.5. Mind you, we didn't do all her songs. We didn't. It came. Was it a 3rd episode or 2nd episode? Pals came.
That is true. Let's see. Church Outfit got 3.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
What It Becomes got 2. 1 second plus 0 ones and zeros was 3.
Oh, I thought she was.
Zig got 1.5.
Right. Okay.
Prove It's 2.5.
If you want to go 2.5, then that's fine.
Okay, 2.5. Deal. 2.5. It's an epic win so far.
It is. But, of course, we're getting the best single ever and the best album ever in our next episode.
Indeed, we are.
So I'm really looking forward to some high scores for that.
Maybe we can chart the sort of evolution from the early days to the middle, and maybe it'll peak crescendo. What do you think? Do you think that's going to happen?
Might crescendo at about 3.
Yeah, well, it's still
a trend.
Your high may not be as high as somebody else, but it's still a high.
True.
I mean, do you remember what our current winner is?
It's Jim White with 9, I think.
It is Jim White with 9.
Yeah, and it's well deserved.
There's a gap. There's Jim White with 9, Brick with 7, which feels very high now.
And then we're down to 3, I presume.
And then we're down to 3.
Yeah.
There's a pals.
Don't forget, we've also got to rank Sam Fender and the Smiths.
We do.
And I think they'll probably score a bit higher than 3.
And Lana Del Rey and...
Oh, you'll do the first season as well? Oh, okay, right. Gosh, it's going to be a mammoth show, isn't it?
Jubilee Street and Lana and A&W.
Oh, right, yes, of course. Forgot about that. And Destination
Boulevard, yeah.
The Witch. Oh, blimey.
That's not going to score very high.
Yes. I mean, A&W would be quite high.
Can we do like a ratio between the number of words and the and the PAL score.
This has been Advanced Mathematics with Professor J. You're welcome to do that. I don't think in numbers, I think in words.
I think in
Up to you.
numbers. There we go. Because Jim White scored 9, but Hayes used 174 words.
That's true.
Ben Folds scored a 7, but he had only 115 words.
Yeah, sure. Can make that a separate
weekend-
chart. We're not going to replace
No,
the
it
skill
is.
with it.
There we go. Anything else to say on the Middle Ages of Paramore before we go into their elderly statesman years next time?
I didn't like it much, I have to say. I much preferred the early stuff. And I'm hoping to really enjoy the later stuff because it's so acclaimed. I haven't listened to it yet. So.
It's acclaimed by me. What more do you need, Professor A?
And the grannies.
The grannies or the Grammys?
Grannies, yeah. Grannies love them.
Grannies love them. It's a short episode. Should we open the delivery that I got last time we spoke?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
I'll turn it this way around so you don't see the address.
You seem to have given up doing quizzes and things. That was good when you were doing that.
Well, I haven't really found anything that's quiz-worthy for Paramore.
Right.
Because I'm lazy. I could go back to something. I was the last few. I was trying to keep them specific to the artist.
Yes.
And the ones that I found were not very interesting. But I will next show. I will do something of Poppies and Paramores.
Excellent.
We will do it.
All the P's.
All the P's. Pop P.
Yes, 3 P's on its own.
Whoop.
What we got?
Whoop.
It's an unboxing.
Oh, live unboxing. Oh, bosh.
It's
a vinyl.
Heart-shaped scars. Heart-shaped scars.
Heart-shaped scars by Dot Allison.
Strangely phallic turtle on the front.
This is the turtle legs.
Yeah.
I told you my turtle story.
Yes,
right?
you did. Yeah. Did you ever see it again?
No, never seen it again. But I'll tell you about the follow-up of my turtle story.
I don't think so.
I was tootling around on my bike further away from where I found Terry the turtle. I saw a postie speaking to someone at a door holding a turtle.
Oh, wow.
So maybe there's a plague of these giant.
Yeah.
It wasn't as big as Terry, but it was
Right.
a good size. It was like that sort of size.
Wow.
I think she was asking if that was their turtle.
This wasn't a snapping turtle, was it?
So I thought it was a pet tortoise, but it turns out it was a Californian turtle, which is a what's the word? Invasive species.
Yeah.
She's killing out all the local. I didn't realise we had turtles over here.
No. But at least it's not going to bite your hand off if it's not a snapping turtle.
No. It didn't try and bite me when I was cycling home with it. So this is Dot Allison's album, Heart-Shaped Scars. She's a vocalist.
Long exposure.
This song here, I'd recommend you listen to this, The Haunted.
Yes.
The reason I bought this because I was listening to that one evening and it blew my mind. Really thought it was amazing.
I definitely have heard of her, but I don't know in what context. And it was quite a long time ago, I think.
She's kind of a vocalist. She's Scottish vocalist. She's worked with...
Has she done something with Massive Attack?
Yes, she's done something with people like that in the Bristol area. Was it Massive Attack or someone like that? Something like that. That sort of. But she's phenomenal.
Right.
And the reason I heard of her was because she's just released her own, or Crow Hill Company have released a VST featuring her vocals. It's really interesting. Fascinating.
So you can use her vocals for backing vocals.
Yeah, it's got you play it via a keyboard, but it's got different effects of her voices. Sort of, if you listen to Haunted, you'll hear how she sort of structures a song and the way her voice works. And she's got like kind of these layers. I'll send you the link. I'll send the link below. For the Crow Hill VST. So VST is a virtual something instrument.
Sound. I It's a good question.
Yeah,
What
so
does it stand
basically,
for? Well,
it's,
VST is an effect, and a VSTI is a virtual instrument.
okay. So yeah, so basically, it's an electronic virtual. Call it a virtual
It's
instrument.
virtual sequencer. I don't know what it stands for.
Virtual studio technology.
I've used
An audio plug-in
Mm.
software interface that's the power to integrate things like virtual instruments and effects modules into your digital audio workstation.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, it's been replaced now, VST, by Clap. Clap is the new one. There was
my Ableton still uses VSTs.
Yeah, I mean they all do, but the Clap is sort of better in terms of memory usage and things like that. So
be useful.
VST, VS3, VST3, VST3i. Now it's Clap. Apparently, but yeah,
Yeah, one of my virtual guitars takes 31 gig of memory, I think, which is a
ooh.
bit awkward.
Why is that?
It's huge. It's the 8-string guitar one. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh,
it's really good.
wow.
It's what I use for all the guitars I put on things.
So is it individually sampling each string, each note?
Each string, each effect on each string.
Wow. Okay.
Bends and slaps.
So basically, it's a modern mellotron.
Yeah, I guess so.
The original mellotron.
Yeah, I know.
When you press a note on the keyboard, it
plays a
pulled
tape.
up a tape player and played it. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you don't need to use VST as much, but I do if I'm creating something on my own. Not that I have done in years. I really need to get back to do something. We need to finish off our last waltz in the Library of the Templars track.
Oh my God, yes.
Which didn't need much.
Told you. Yeah. I told you. It came on at random when I was driving recently with the kids in the car, and it sounded amazing in the car.
With the rap as well.
With the rap, the full version.
Yeah, the rap just needs redoing because it's too many plosives in it.
It sounds amazing but incomplete.
Yeah,
and the kids liked it as well. So that's a good sign.
And we need to release some of our stuff on our Wildest channel.
Yes, we do.
We've got it labelled at the top left up there, and we've got one song on it, which is
Do you know what I think we should do, Professor A?
Okay.
I think that we should choose some songs from some of our albums.
Well, I was thinking for our 50th episode or something, we should do that.
We should do Fog Smoke and the Chemical Josh.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that as a one-off between series, shall we?
Because that is a piece of work. That album. That is.
Is it that good lyrically? I'm not sure. Cinderella's quite good. I like that.
Cinderella's brilliant. Yeah. There's the one about Toulouse-Lautrec.
Oh yes, the insane interlude, as we called it.
Yes.
Yeah. If anyone actually wants to listen to this, it's actually on Bandcamp. Just say, has been for many, many years under the name TSA. It's called Fog, Smoke, and the Chemical Kosh.
Put a link below. How many links are going to be in this one?
Yes, quite. Anyway, are we done now?
Yes. I think we're done.
I think we're done too. So we're looking forward to further Paramore next episode. Until then, give us a like and a ringy bell, and give us a comment or two. We want to interact with you. Never say anything. Is it us? Tell us what we're doing. Anyway, for Professor Dogger, I am Professor A, and Professor J is?
Bye-bye.
Professor J, yes, that's right. Bye-bye.